Well, Gibran Bassil was Lebanon's foreign minister from 2014 till January of this year. He was also the Minister of Energy and Water between 2009 and 2014. He joined me earlier and I began by asking him whether, given his decade-long stint in government, he felt any responsibility for the explosion and the loss of life.
Actually, I was never in a direct involvement, not in this government, but even before. But this happened since 6 years, since 2014. So all the consecutive government officials who are directly involved in this matter should be put under thorough investigation, and those responsible should be held accountable, because the negligence part, I'm not talking about the possible attack part, but the negligence part is flagrant by itself. The documents are there. No need to go through the investigation is already clear somehow, because the documents, the evidence, the events, everything is there and clear. The fact of keeping such explosives, 2,750 tons in a civil port like this in the heart of the city is something unacceptable.
So what do you believe the government knew at the time?
It seems that, frankly, for me, it was the first time I hear about it. And our first reaction was that it is an attack. So, but the evidence is there. They knew that the material, the nitrate ammonium, was there. And the question now is not about its presence and how and why. The question now is how it was ignited, because we know that by itself it cannot be ignited. It needs a combustible and heat. And what was that combustible? Was it the heat with a solvent present there, as they are claiming, or was it something that cannot be ruled out and attacked out of a series of attacks, that suspicious attacks that we saw not only in Lebanon, in Syria and in Iran? And this gives us the right as Lebanese people and officials to have this question until we have the results of the investigation. What ignited that nitrate ammonium?
So let me just be clear. You say that the government are responsible for what happened because they would have known at the time that these explosives were being stored. Is that correct?
No, I said frankly, all the direct government officials who are involved in this matter. We cannot put all people at one equal responsibility. There are officials, whether ministers or DGs, director generals, or head of security, or judges. You know, the investigation will show why the responsiveness to the alerts given by so many government officials were neglected. And the responsiveness was really on repetitive times not taken seriously.
Let's talk about the investigation, because there are many people that say it's very difficult to have any faith in an investigation, given the fact that there are allegations that the government is corrupt in itself, run by the political elite. This is from a number of people that we've been speaking to, citizens of Lebanon. What can you say to reassure them that the investigation will be fair, detailed, accurate and independent?
You know, first, the people of Lebanon have the right not to have confidence and faith in their government officials because of corruption and because of that gap of trust. And it is the chance for the government to prove the contrary and to lead the investigation till the end in a transparent way and an efficient way. And this has started already by putting people under house arrest. But this should be terminated quickly because, as I said, the evidence are there. So we have to move to the accountability part, where the committee that was designated has only 5 days to give the results of the investigations. 2 days have already passed. And the judicial system, which is also responsible, have to react very quickly, because here we are talking about a capital that has been destroyed out of negligence on one side and out of a possibility of an attack.
There are many people watching this who are wanting to help Lebanon, perhaps donate to a number of aid charities there, but they are concerned that they don't want the money to go through government channels because of the endemic corruption. What would you respond to that? And are you saying don't give the money to Lebanon right now?
No, I'm proposing a plan, first, of reforms, and second, I'm suggesting that we can divide the capital into streets that have characteristics, for example, of buildings, traditional buildings since the French mandate. So every country can take a street or a part of streets up to its willingness and its capacity and rebuild it on its own. The same way it happened in 2006 when they rebuilt part of the capital and of the south part of the country. So they can help in a way that can prove the transparency and the direct involvement with companies, with Lebanese companies and the foreign companies to go into that reconstruction effort. I understand this gap of trust and the good governance of Lebanon. We can fill it that way. And on the same time, we feel obliged to go on the process of reforms. We need to reform our country and to eradicate the corruption.